Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Over Coffee.
What's
How
the
did
matter?
I
You forget
do?
where you were?
I did because I forgot to mute. I'm on Twitch and I forgot to mute Twitch, and so all of a sudden in my microphone was this craziness. This crazy guy talking this morning. Welcome to Over Coffee, our morning talk show on the Long Island Tabletop Streaming Network, where we talk about games or just about anything you want to chat about. Please send us an email with some. I totally lost my train of thought again too. Oh, this is not a good morning. It's got to be Friday. Hey, I was forced in to go to work. I'm supposed to be off today. Hey, fun times.
I'm here. We're here with Dave, who can't walk, drink, or do anything at the same time.
So I'm here with my co-hosts, Rich and John, and we'd love to hear back from you. Hit that follow button.
Do you notice
Hit
someone's missing?
hit that subscribe button. I haven't gotten to it yet.
Oh,
And hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. And so, however, we are missing our co-host Doug.
oh,
So
it's a shame.
he is gargling salt water right now, as far as we understand.
That's what he should be doing. He lost his voice. So if anybody finds his voice out there, let me know. Let us know. Let him know.
Let him know.
You know.
I don't know if we're giving out his email yet, but you can email me at dave@gamemastergames.com and I will forward the email.
Yes. Yeah. You should. So anyway. All right.
So
back
what
to real life.
Yeah.
So,
what did we? Oh, go ahead.
what were we gonna say? Do the news. Do the news.
I was just going to say, what have you guys been playing, if anything? And also, I wanted to know, since I'm starting to do some social media here on the Long Island Tabletop, and I made a critical error last night with Doug's show, is it basically D&D tonight?
Basically D&D tonight at 9:00.
9:00, not 8:59 and not 7:30.
Well, you can put 8:59. It's not going to hurt us. 7:30 wouldn't work though.
Okay, 9 p.m. I'll make sure I put that on there.
At 8:59 there'll be music at least if you wanna come. I have the opening choir.
Oh, you got some music that you play? You start up the stream and put some music on?
Yeah, I have it by Mr. Funkmeister.
Oh, cool.
I took it from the convention we did last year, the tabletop free convention we did last year.
Yeah.
Brian did it for that. I liked it, so I just added it to basically D&D.
Oh, awesome. Hey, John, are you not getting ready for work?
I'm working remotely today.
Ooh,
yeah.
Very nice.
Because of the uptick,
yeah.
Companies are doing once again starting to work from home more often. Why they weren't always working from home, I don't know.
Yeah, this is going to be a new thing. Office retail space.
That's going to drop.
Well,
Yeah.
Not retail space. I think less retail
too.
space, more office space is going to drop. What were you saying, John? I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. It's a weird situation too, because the way that my job does it is, well, what we were originally doing was you'd work out of office every other day. So it's like if you were in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then I'm sorry, if you were in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you'd be home Tuesday, Thursday, and then the following week it would flip.
Huh.
This time, however, though, they've been like just kind of like choosing, I guess, like picking and choosing. Like last week, I was home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I worked Thursday, Friday. This week, I was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, home Thursday, Friday. We'll see what next week looks like. So it's kind of like hard to like nail down because I don't know if it's consistent or if it changes or whatever.
So the problem, and I'm going to point something out. The problem with that type of thinking is that there's no one without consistency. You lack efficiency, and like to have the expectation that you're going to tell somebody on a week by week basis you're home or you're in the office it's stupid, you know.
Right.
And I think management specifically at your company, and I apologize, John, because this is not a reflection on you, but it's a reflection on the inability for management to have a plan for something like this. Listen, everybody was thrown into chaos. I don't want to hear from an organization, whoa, you know, it was the pandemic. Stop. Because the fact that it's a pandemic is what makes it the great equalizer. Every single organization is the same.
They got to deal with the same stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to deal with the same stuff. So those organizations that can adapt are they're adapting. my organization just plain out said, all right, we're not going back to the office. We're not going back into the office until we know that there's something overwhelming one way or another.
Right.
Then they realized how productive we were even outside the office. They're like,
You
maybe,
mentioned you're working possibly harder since
right.
you're home.
So maybe we don't need those tens of millions of dollars of real estate money to pay out. So,
interesting.
you know, so those organizations are the ones that are thriving. I mean, my organization, they're not even worrying about people's schedule on a weekly basis. What they're concerned about is making sure that they have everybody's contact information for when a vaccine is available, because the organization is going to help us get it.
Right. And of course, oh, go ahead, John.
No, I was just going to say really quick. They could probably do much more remote. It's just the only downside is that there's still certain things that they're tied to in terms of physicality. I mean, part of that would involve automation in certain things that I've actually pushed for, but they are, let's say, either hesitant to explore or would require kind of overturning a couple of things. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think, just you're gonna have to deal with it one way or the other. Why don't you just rip that Band-Aid off,
Absolutely. I'll give you a couple of examples. You're absolutely right, John. I'll give you a few.
Well, let me give you a good example. Checks. A great example is checks. We have a situation where somebody pays off a loan and they pay off too much, which can happen because, you could have things of like a payment came in before the actual payoff payment came in. Like somebody asked, hey, what's my payoff? And then they're on an automatic transfer, and that kind of doesn't take it into consideration or whatever. Or it's like, for people who don't know anything about loans, you have interest that accrues daily. So usually when you get a payoff, you don't get it for the day of, you get it a few days ahead because you want to make sure it's there on time and stuff to cover everything. So if it comes in earlier than expected, now you have a surplus. So you have an extra amount you have to deal with. And the situation is that we have to then physically cut a check to the borrower. Now, if you had a situation where you could literally just say, hey, I have a check that needs to be cut, please issue it for this amount, and a system that did it for you, that would be great. But we don't. So what that means is somebody has to physically move money from one account to another, cut a check, create a letter, mail a letter to the borrower, and then see how that goes.
You see, and all of that is okay. If you took, look, these are the processes that we don't need someone physical, these are the processes that we do, and then kind of focus on those to separate it, that's one thing. I'm going to be honest. Almost every place out there with refunds offers you a direct deposit. The fact that your own bank can't offer you a direct deposit into your own account. For the people that don't have accounts with you, that's different. I get that.
That's the thing. Like a lot of loans, especially from like smaller lenders,
But here's a couple of things that I noticed right off the bat in the pandemic, right? There's still long lines. That has never been addressed in my 40 years of going to a bank. The long lines have never been addressed. There's an issue with that, right? There's usually, maybe set up a couple of ATMs that are special ATMs that have a high level limit and have different denominations. Maybe teach people like they used to before the pandemic. I did see at my bank, they were teaching people how to use ATMs for deposits or certain things, right? If you don't have an account, you have to cash a check. That's one thing. I get it. There's always going to be something. But how about coin machines? And don't tell me go to Coinstar because, I want to just put, I have 20 rolled packs of coins here, right? Why do I have to go to the bank? Why do I have to go in the bank, wait on the line to drop it into my account?
Well, there could be a night deposit box if you.
Forget the night deposit box. How archaic is that? They have professional coin counters at freaking supermarkets.
Wait, I got it. They figure out a system to take a picture of the coins, and then you throw the coins in the garbage, and they add the value to your account.
No, you don't even have to. Here's the situation. So I used to work for a credit union that had coin counters. And what would happen is you feed the coin counters into the machine, and it would give you a little ticket and then the little ticket, all you have to do is just take it to a teller, and then they would be able to process it. Now,
Right.
that said, a teller still need to process the ticket, but you could correct that by having like a barcode or like a machine where you feel like an ATM. The downside is that you have to. The problem is you would have to come up with some mechanism so that it readily recognizes how the ATM would take it. You wouldn't create an ATM just for coin tickets. That maybe might be that step too far.
Strangely enough, I know how it would work in a way because I've returned some scrap metal before, and the guy gave me a little. I just brought the scrap metal onto a scale, and then he weighed it, and then he handed me a ticket with a barcode on it and said, "Go to the cashier to get money." So
right.
I went to the cashier.
What I'm saying is the ticket.
But there's
not the problem. It's just you still have to have somebody physically process it.
No, it was a computer. There was no cashier. There was nobody sitting there. It was a computer. I just stuck my thing. They read the barcode and like an ATM spit out $12.15.
So there's technology out there because they do it with bottles and cans, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
They do it. You get a ticket, you go up to the customer service, they scan it, and they give you the money. Right. There's a physical person there. I think John's right. I think there needs to be a connection, right, so that you don't have to do anything with the ticket. There's a couple of ways to do that, right? One, you could reprogram an ATM the way you could either spit something out that the ATM would accept, or the software, and I happen to know this, well, not intimately familiar, but I happen to know that the photo software can be modified to read a barcode easily when you scan your checks.
Yeah.
So you could easily go, so the bank's coin star, so to speak, you dump your coins in there, they give you a ticket for the amount that it counted, right? You scan it on your phone with your automatic check, with your phone check deposit. Done. I don't need to waste the teller's time. I don't need to stand online. And then they say, because it's a pandemic, it's like only 5 of you can be in the bank at a time. Well, you know what? Then figure out something to do with this line. Figure out how to make this line work.
Here on Over Coffee, we can change the world. We're going to continue working on these topics to change the world. But
what platforms do you play games online?
No. I've got to do the news because I gotta have to split.
Poop.
Thank you, though, for reading my topics. I appreciate it.
Whatever.
Okay. So from Tabletop Gaming News, here's the some recent news picks I picked up. Tabletop Gaming News. Hey, did you ever drive around a city and think, who the heck was in charge of planning this thing? This is terrible. I could do better. So coming out is a new roll and write game called Scribble Town. And that is live on Kickstarter right now. I am really enjoying roll and write and flip and writes. Welcome to, I had a lot of fun on Dee Dee's A Girl, a Game, and a Goal Twitch channel. She does a lot of flip and writes and roll and writes, and I've watched a few of them. And you can play at home. You can actually watch the YouTube video later on, just have the printout sheet and just play at any time. You don't have to play live with her. It's really cool. Interesting concept. From Dice Tower News, Renegade Game Studios has announced another flip and write game for 2021, and this is why I included it. I just talk about flip and write and roll and write games. It's called Hadrian's Wall. The game, and by the way, you could make a flip and write and roll and write game and essentially tack on any theme you want. I mean, this is another one that's building. This is another a flip and write that's building, just like Welcome to. And it has a solitaire version, ages 12 and up, only 30 to 60 minutes. It's by Garfield. The game is also published outside of North America. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Renegade Game Studios. It's designed by Bobby Hill, and this is his first published design and artwork by Sam Phillips. And I've also got a soft spot for legacy games. I have really enjoyed Risk Legacy, and I just started Charterstone legacy game, and I've played half a scenario of a Gloomhaven legacy game. I've enjoyed all three so far. So now a game that Ginger and I have liked many times in the past, we featured on the Bethpage Library game night, is Sagrada. So there's a Sagrada legacy, which they will be featuring at Gen Con 21. So if you like legacy games or roll and write games, this is the time. Apparently they're super hot right now. Even though there's only about 25 legacy games out there right now, it looks like 1 to 3 of them come out every year now, at least.
So I got a couple of couple of notes on that is one. I see that Sagrada Legacy will be coming out for Gen Con 21.
Yeah.
So Gen Con update is Gen Con has not released dates for hotel bookings or tickets or event submissions of any kind yet because they're waiting to see if they can even have it yet.
Yeah.
I don't know when that's going to be, but as I get the emails, because as you know, we have a booth. So as I get the emails, I will keep everybody informed.
Cool.
But as of right now, there is no news on whether Gen Con's going to happen in person or not.
You guys know about the Olympics, right?
I didn't hear about that, but one second. Be honest with you, I don't believe that Gen Con is going to happen in person in the capacity that it's been in because I think it's just too big. And I don't think enough vaccinations will be out there yet. But that's just an opinion right now. It could change. And that
It's
would be great.
normally August?
Yeah, normally July, August. What were you saying, John? No, I did not.
No, I was going to say that I remember reading yesterday that they canceled the Olympics in Japan. That they basically said that it's just at this time, it's just not safe. That until things are much more safely under control. And I think that some of the concerns is the fact that we are starting to see variant strains now.
Yep.
And the downside is that like this was a thing that even in countries that still took all the precautions and did the best that they could, it's still just so much uncertainty because of the way that a pandemic works that it's there's no safe way of doing it other than to just be safe, be distant, and take precautions. And with events that would pull in thousands and thousands and thousands of people, there's just no way to do that.
Yeah. Zinar said the current thought is that the general population in India won't get vaccinations until April at the earliest. We still don't have dates here in the U.S. where the general population, where I guess some general population is, but is still more focused and targeted.
It's weird. Like here's a funny story.
We have a long line.
My sister's in the medical. She's in the medical field. She's a PA, and she got her vaccination because she's an essential worker.
Yes.
My dad,
got Indiana.
his Monday. No, my dad got his on Monday. And I don't know how he just registered online, I think, and then he was able to get in and get it. But I mean, granted, he's 75.
It's the age. So, I was just about to say it's the age, John.
75, so he's older, so he is at high risk. So
yeah, they register. It's a line. It's a different in each state, and it's allocated. And right now I don't have an issue with the allocation or how they're doing it. It's not the point. The point is that it's still going to take time. It doesn't matter who you are. My company, to give you another example, is my organization is an essential organization. But our drivers are first on the list, and they should be. They're going into every single store, every shelf. So, but hey, now that Dave's not here, we can talk about. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm still here. Just on mute.
We didn't even get to finish talking about what we've been playing. I actually got into a new game I got into a game that I've been dying to play, but I wasn't thrilled about buying, and I finally got the chance to do so yesterday.
It's true, Zinor. I actually haven't had my coffee yet. Today is Friday. Oh, John, quickly, I'm going to address Zinor's thing, but quickly talk about the game that you've been playing.
No, so I finally got the chance to play Control. Control is a game that came out for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, by Remedy. They're the same studio that did Alan Wake, which is another really cool game that I enjoyed. And it's this, it's like the best way I could describe it is it's an action game where you're running around shooting and you're using like special abilities like telekinesis and things like that. But the Remedy Studios has always been about a much more cinematic experience of like heavy narration, mix of visuals using live action footage, audio, and the game itself. And it's really cool. It just came out on Game Pass on the PC. And since I have Game Pass on the PC, I downloaded it and I've been playing it. I started playing it yesterday.
Very cool. I played Project Zomboid and D&D on Wednesday. Somebody else DM'd for a change, but he's a new GM, so he made everybody the same race. And so we're all halflings. I hate halflings. I hate playing a halfling. I don't hate them personally. I just hate playing them. So,
Does your character have self-loathing?
no, he doesn't. But he is chaotic neutral. So sowing chaos is my thing. I also took the flaw that I couldn't keep a secret to save my life or anybody else's. I can't wait to use that. So Zynar said, "What? What was that, John?"
No, I was going to say I also am playing in a game on Wednesdays, and instead of using the D&D not backgrounds, but instead of using the personality traits and the flaws and stuff like that, I use the good, neutral, and evil trait system from Secret Fire.
Okay, all right, I like that. I used to like those. I like those traits. I still have my book.
Yeah, it's a cool way to add some dynamics to your character.
Oh, I agree completely. You know what? Maybe we should. Maybe I should get that. I think I can. I think I can scan that. I'll ask George if he minds if I put that out there for people to use, and we can put the link up because I think it's a very cool dynamic. I don't think he'll have a problem with it, but I will ask him first. I'll reach out to him.
There was a lot of stuff that I think that kind of works really cool with Secret Fire. That I think that if instead of doing its own game, we would I was looking around to try to figure out when did Secret Fire come out versus 5e, and I think George missed it by about a year.
Yeah,
It came out in between 4th and 5th. The playtest was probably around, but they overhauled that playtest version pretty heavily before it finally came out. Secret Fire had some neat idea. Well, I just remember when we played it, when we did the playtest version, I think it was much closer to 4th edition than it was to, let's say, 1st. They made some tweaks to it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think when it came out. We can figure that out. So Zynar says I need more coffee because reading is still difficult because he originally put Indiana and I wrote India. So he's right. I haven't had my coffee yet. I know it's over coffee, but I didn't get there before. I'm going to the deli and I'm having breakfast. Now, wait a minute. The reason why is because John had brought up a topic that we haven't talked about in a while, and it's called health. Now, as it turns out, I've lost more than 5 pounds. I've lost about 8 to 10 pounds. One of the things, because this is going on longer than anybody anticipated, as John had pointed out, is people should be exercising more. Yes, little exercises. But just as important as exercising is stretching. Stretching, making your food, watching what you eat, and just taking better care of yourself. I sit in the chair, unfortunately, almost all day, every day because of meetings. I get it. So in between, or even while I'm on the meeting, when it's not my turn to talk, I get up, I stretch. Stretching increases blood flow throughout your body. You should also learn to meditate because that also helps calm yourself and lower your blood pressure. But I also make a lot of my own food. So as a reward, Fridays and Sundays now, because I've lost 10 pounds, are my breakfast days. So, my going out and getting breakfast as opposed to me making something here. So today I'm going to have coffee. So if I can't read, that's why. I like it. John, was there anything you wanted to add to the exercise?
I was talking to my friend Dan, and he mentioned that one of the things that he's been doing to try to get into better shape is he's been he goes to a gym, but they operate in a much different capacity. But even he said, for those who think that they have to dedicate hours and hours and hours, if you collectively can get at least 2 hours a week of exercise in, that's pretty good. So even if you could spread it up of half an hour one day, half an hour another day, and push yourself, just do the full half hour, then you'll start. It'll be gradual, but you'll start to see some positive changes, as well as
thank you, Zynar.
As well as cutting things where you can. Dan's I've started drinking less alcohol. Not that he was drinking constantly.
I'm no longer a drunk.
No, but he was like, no, I used to maybe have a glass after dinner, or maybe a glass here and there. He's like, it's gonna be more of a once a week kind of thing. And even then, like, still kind of keeping it sparse.
So
Like,
it's again, yes, you're right, and it's also it's not about any one particular thing. It's controlling the excess. You're right. You're right, John. But I just think that's very funny coming from Dan. Um, but people have the misconception that losing weight and tying it to exercise exclusively. I'm going to give an example of the 15 mile a day mailman.
That's me.
What happens is when
And
you
it's
do
only 11 miles.
when you do the same thing every single day and never change up and never vary, which is why most workout routines change. The reason why they change is because when your body gets used to what you're doing, it will adapt. Once it adapts, it figures a way to get itself fat again. So
I will tell you from personally talking to 20 new employees. They all say, holy smoke, my first 6 months, I lost 25 pounds and then I put 15 back on.
right, because what will happen is you'll lose the water weight. That goes first and that goes quickly. Then you'll lose some weight. Don't get me wrong, you're going to lose weight just because your body's burning more calories. Most people overcompensate with food. Those who don't overcompensate with food, their body will still adapt because they're not changing their routine. Right? So stupid things as simple as, hey, when I walk to the end of the block, I'm going to jog back. I'm not saying that that's going to work for everybody because not everybody's a jogger, but changing your routine and not letting your body get used to one particular thing all has the same effect on as being the same as a routine change. And
I've got something maybe even simpler, but it's hard to do and hard to remember unless you put some thought and effort into it. Is just drinking more water.
So, one, that absolutely you should be drinking more water. My daughter just went to the doctor, and the doctor suggested, based on what he was hearing from her, that she needs to drink a lot more water than she already is. So that's our responsibility. We have to make sure she drinks it. But us as people, adult-like people, even if we don't act it, water, water, water. When in doubt, drink water. You know?
Yeah.
If you're going to... Yeah, Dave.
I got something else, too, that you touched upon. And it's been something a year ago, I was seeing a counselor for a little while and also talked to my doctor and then observing my wife, Ginger. All three suggested or practice good meditation techniques. And I've never been one to meditate, but here you just mentioned it again. So
yeah, meditation is very important.
So if you meditate, Rich, well, what do you do? Are you in a routine? Do you use an app? Do you use music? What the heck do you do?
I've you know what? I've been in martial arts, recently, but years ago, the first time I went into martial arts, that's where I learned to meditate. So I just learned to do it. I didn't use an app because you don't use an app when you're there. I didn't use an app. I didn't use anything like that. But that's me. That's me.
Right, but I'm just looking for, because I hear it left and right, but I've got a very compact schedule, and carving out time, it's going to take effort. It's going to take discipline. And until you get a benefit from it, or until you actually enjoy it, it's really hard to get started. So I'm just curious, when do you do it, and how do you do it? Now, like not the procedure, but like, do you do it when you wake up in the morning? Do you do it at night? Those kind of things.
So here's the thing with meditation. I think that there's a misnomer, and a lot of people that are heavy into meditation will say, you got to do it like there's an hour, 20. If you've never done it before, do it for a minute and work up from there. You could do it in the morning. The morning is when you're the most peaceful, and that's okay. I like to do it in the evening. A lot of times after I'm done with the computer and everything and I wind down, that's me personally, because it helps me relax at the end of the night. It has helped me ease some of the pain in my back. So then, and you know what? You could really do it anytime. Sometimes if I'm having a stressful day and I get a break between meetings, I'll do it.
Let me ask you a question, because what I do is at nighttime when I go to bed, I guess I just brainstorm this now. I guess this can be considered meditation. I have a little piece of paper on the wall that's like my life goals, and so I look at it every night before I go to bed, and I said, did I do that today? Yes. Did I progress, not do it, but did I progress towards this goal today? Yes. Did I progress towards this goal today? No. And then I say to myself, was today good? And I can answer yes or no. And then I ask myself, was it enough? Was it enough? Most of the time I say no. So maybe that is like a little bit of meditation.
It's not, but it is something different. And if you would like to talk about it one day, I will introduce you to an author named Jeffrey J. Fox, who's a business guru, and he's written a series of books that, and one of them is about writing goals and looking at them. And he talks about your daily routine, and he talks about at night, or you write your goals list and you keep checking your goals list, and your goals list should have a 6 month, 3 month, 1 month, 1 week, 1 day, or the 7 days in the first, things like that. And it's similar to what you're talking about. That's less of a meditation and more of a wind down. Like, I have a to-do list, and I rewrite my to-do list every day. It doesn't matter the fact that I didn't cross half the things off. I rewrite it every single day, and the first thing on there is to do, and you cross it off. And time management people will tell you that's great. But that's a little psychological thing that I do, and it's relaxing. And you clear off your desk at the end of the day, and you just look at your goals. But the different thing, it's slightly different than meditation. Meditation is more about emptying and focusing almost on nothing and letting yourself and try to become peace. Someone activated my Google.
And I'm gonna have to split, but you guys continue if you want to do.
So Google just asked if I wanted to know if meditation was thinking about something. So it's hold on. Oh, that's Just Dance.
Oh, Just Dance. Oh.
Google, stop. Hey, Google, stop.
Anyway, you guys can keep chatting, but I'm gonna.
No, we're done. It's 7 o'clock. We should talk about this another time. Listen, I am not a guru on meditation by any means, but I do know that there are some people that lose interest because they feel they don't have the time to do it. And I will tell you that if you start with 1 minute, you will start to feel effects.
Okay.
And then you grow and you grow. Don't try to jump onto what Ginger does, because Ginger is just so much more advanced. And it's tough for advanced people to teach beginners.
John, just out of quick, John, do you meditate or no?
No, but I have been making sure that when I started exercising, like I said, that I spend a decent amount of time stretching and breathing.
He yawns a lot. No, I'm just kidding, Judge. Breathing is good.
Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us. Thanks for the chat. Apparently we had Zinar. I don't see chat right now when I'm
Zinar, you need to get on. You need to come on here with us.
Yes, that would be great. And we hope everybody joins us for the Uplink convention. That is February 20 and 21st. And we really appreciate all the feedback. Send us some comments, questions, and topics. We didn't know if we would have a topic today. John did bring up healthcare, but we talked about several different things. Super cool.
Okay.
And so everybody out there, thanks so much, and have a great weekend, and good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yay.
All right.